as soon as possible.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. You can ask him to go through the bugs and
Yeah, inshallah.
fix all this stuff. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yes, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, brother. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Hussam?
Good, alhamdulillah. How's everything?
Alhamdulillah, going very good. There is a lot of rain on the South India right now, Chennai.
Oh, is it the monsoon season or is it just
it's
like
monsoon, but sometimes it rains very heavily. I'm talking about Chennai, not Bangalore. Chennai, I'm in Bangalore. It's a very heavy rain in Chennai. I have all my relatives there. I'm supposed to visit them this weekend for some function of my niece. I need to visit to my sister's house, but probably I may not go because of the rains. The heavy downpour, and a lot of people are dying, and water is logging.
Sorry to hear that. People are dying. Wow,
Chennai. Actually, it happened 2 years back, kind of similar. It's happening again.
Really? Oh, interesting.
It's all coastal area, actually. There's a coastal area, Chennai. So, yeah.
Right.
Okay, where is Brother Tanveer? Is he here?
Brother Tanveer will be. He is actually here, but he's muted. He has to just take care of something, inshallah. But I think we can get started.
Yeah, mashallah. Very good. And also Muhammad is there, looks like. Muhammad Khasmani is there.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum. How are you guys?
Walaikum assalam ya akhi. كيف الحال يا أخي خصماني?
Alhamdulillah, how are you, akhi?
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah, very good. Is it your dad's name? This name you have this at the last name Khasmani. Is your dad's father's name or family name? What is it?
It's a family name.
Family name. Oh, mashallah, mashallah. Looks good. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Can I know what does it mean?
I actually don't know.
Brother, you should know your name.
All right, this time.
I've actually asked about it, just like you being curious, but It's an ancestral name that has just come down from generation to generation.
I understand. Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't really they don't know what it means, but alhamdulillah. My dad's name is Muhammad Shafi.
Muhammad Shafi?
Yeah.
Mashallah, alhamdulillah. Mashallah, good name, very name.
So what's your name, bro? Your name is also Muhammad something else and then Kasmani or just Muhammad?
Yeah, my name is Muhammad Hussein Kasmani.
Hussein,
mashallah.
So
we can call you Hussein then. Son, we can call you Hussein also, right?
You can. You're more than welcome to. There's only one person in the world who calls me Hussein. That's my sister. She chooses to be different. The rest of the people call me Kasmani or Muhammad. So.
What's your, like, I guess, more common name? Is it Muhammad or is it Kasmani?
So all my friends, which are 4, including now you guys have added to the groups, alhamdulillah, they all call me Cash. And then the people at work call me Muhammad, of course.
Muhammad. They haven't called you Big M or like M.
No,
Mo.
I strictly say I don't want to be called Mo. Like, don't call me Mo. If you're gonna shorten my name, call me MK. So Muhammad, but don't call me Mo. I hate the sound of Mo. Don't ruin my name. Yeah, don't ruin my name. So yeah, strictly. So I'm like, you're gonna shorten it to MK, but nothing doing about Mo stuff.
Long time back when I was actually working in US. Long time back when I was working in Chicago in Chambers. A long time back, I don't know, probably 10 years, 8 years back. There was a guy actually who joined the company new for the sales and marketing. His name was Muhammad, but he shortened into Mo. And actually, my name is also Muhammad Abdullah, so they call me Muhammad. And he did not like that name to be called. They call him by Muhammad, so he shortened into Mo.
Yeah, bro, there's a lot of people that like that.
And he was trying to please them in every way possible. That person who joined, he was not pretending to be a Muslim. He was doing opposite, and I was normal. I was just normal like any other Muslim. I used to pray and everything.
Yeah.
And believe me, in 6 to 7 months he's gone. Means they fired him. And I asked the staff what happened to him. We removed him because of a lack of performance or other things, performance or other thing. And I was there in the same company for I think 9-10 years. Actually, I worked in the same company.
Oh wow, so you were there for a while.
So this is not your name or how you behave. This is from Allah Azza wa Jal. Your qadr is determined by Allah Azza wa Jal. How long, where you get the risk from and other things.
Absolutely.
So you're shortening the name or pleasing these people, Allahu Alam, it may not help you. But pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal for sure will help us, inshallah.
Sure. I think you're right, Akhi. The main thing is no one is like we have to maintain our akhlaq and our interaction with goodness, but and maintain our principles. So a lot of times people let go of a lot of things. It's very challenging.
Bro, I've seen some of them just don't relate with it. They just don't connect. I mean, like I had another one too who called himself Mo, and like sadly enough, he didn't necessarily, like, he was, I guess, I couldn't even tell if he was Muslim. I could just tell that he was Muslim from name. Like,
yeah. And you know what, Akhi? The sad part is,
I still don't know if he's Muslim, honestly, bro. I still don't know if he's Muslim.
The new generation that's being brought up over here, especially in the Toronto area, like I've met so many, like they're not really identifying themselves with Muslim, like being Muslim anymore. So many of them are like even marrying, a non-Muslim, and it's like perfectly fine kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like, oh, why do you want to bring religion as differences and stuff like that? So it's very, subhanAllah, it's very challenging times for some, even for some families. So Allah make it easy for us.
Right.
That is for sure. All right. So Brother Tanveer will be joining us in some time, but inshallah, he said that we guys can go ahead and.
Sure.
So I guess I will just let you, inshallah, lead with, I guess you can go through the bug fixes and stuff, and I guess let's just start off with that, inshallah. Brother we will join by then, and then we can continue with him.
But who is this? This is talking Muhammad Kasmani or me?
I'm talking to you. Abdullah.
Okay, Abdullah. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
so go ahead and
Yeah, actually,
and then if you
fine,
want
sure.
to show us the bug fixes, just walk us through, I guess, them and
Yeah, sure,
show us.
of course. Yeah, actually, yeah, I can. Let me share my screen. Actually, okay, I sent you guys an email. Actually, you saw that email?
Yes.
Okay, just
I
one
think you
minute.
just sent it, right? You sent it some time ago.
Yeah, I mean, like
30
probably
minutes ago.
7:50, 7:55. I sent it,
Right.
and then I installed the updates also. The same, the whatever I set fixed. Actually, this new version is updated.
Right.
Okay, let me pull that link which Tanvir sent the bugs. Actually, we went one by one. 1 minute, just give me a minute. I'm pulling that link, then I will share my screen.
Yeah. Take your time.
Yes, here. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now.
Right, we can see. I can see it.
Okay, very good. So basically, we went one by one what he sent me, and some are a little bit old. Even if you can look at the dates he put like 9/15. Actually, this looks like he had this issue on actually September 15. Actually,
yeah, that's.
It's just not a recent issue. Now we are in November, so you could imagine we could have fixed few things by that time. So there are some more old issues. Okay, anyway. This issue actually we were not able to recreate. This issue what you're looking at here, called Facebook login option missing. We turned on the ad blocker. Like ad blocker, you have a choice of like there are different ad blockers.
Right.
On Chrome. So we tried 2 ad blockers on Chrome. With both the ad blockers on our Chrome, it was working fine. I mean, it was showing the Facebook icon. Facebook link was being displayed for us. So we could not able to recreate, and we asked Brother Tanvir to tell us which specific ad blocker he used or any other information so that we can recreate this issue. That's what we have asked him. Any comments on this from your side?
No, not none. Because
okay.
I mean, you know what? While you go through the thing, I'll try to load the page on my end with ad blockers
please
on.
Take a look and turn some ad block and see if you can see the issue.
I can see it, so I think I'm loading.
See if you see the Facebook or not.
I can see it.
I mean, you can see the Facebook icon?
Yes.
With the ad block turned on?
Yes, I do have it turned on, yep.
Okay, so basically we need to know from Tanvir, Brother Tanvir, which device he was doing, or some more details so that we can recreate the issue.
No, I'll follow up with him, and like you said, this seems like a really old issue, so maybe inshallah it's not an issue anymore.
Yeah, looks like this is like reported created some time back, so probably I don't know. We'll try. And the second issue is a little bit like more sensitive issue for us and for you. But I explained it. It's like Metronics templates that we are using. The Metronics template we are supposed to use for admin module. It is enforcing a size of 600 by 600 pixels. So if we use that size for all the image uploads on the teacher module, it will look consistent and the grid will look good. Okay, we have tried it. It worked fine with 600 to 600. But once we change the size to whatever it is, more or less, then the Metronics is automatically resizing the image so that it will look good on the screen to improve the resolution and to improve the image, how it's been viewed, not to distort the image. So that's what exactly happening. When the Metronics is resizing the image to bigger or smaller, then we see this issue. What you are seeing now on the screen.
Right.
So I have given some suggestion on that email I sent you. One suggestion I was giving is this. Actually, we discussed this also on the last meeting. Also, we discussed the same issue. So one suggestion I'm giving is we can enforce this 600 to 600 if that is okay with your team, because it's only admin doing this. There is only one person needs to be trained on this. So it may not be that big.
It's not. I guess if you can take that as a requirement, we can say that we can keep those images 600 by 600. That's it.
If you can confirm it,
So
Yeah, please tell me.
does it require for us to make sure we upload 600 by 600 images, or the program will make sure that the images that get saved are 600 by 600?
No. You have to basically upload by 600 600. You have to make sure the image you're uploading is actually 600 600. We can validate. If it is not 600 600, we can reject that image.
But can we not just crop and save it equally like that? Like, can we just not crop? Like,
sorry?
Yeah,
actually, this option of cropping was given to us by Mohammad Khasmani in very early in the development. He gave this excellent suggestion. And for cropping, we need to incorporate some third-party tools, some third-party plugins for the cropping. Cropping, I don't think we can just crop automatically from the programmatically. It will give wrong results. For example, if we cut the right portion or left portion or middle, get the appropriate API. If we want to do it completely backend without any interface, we need to do it. It will be a little bit difficult. So we were thinking, if we need to do it, we need to go with some plugins, right? For example, which will pop up and do the cropping like other applications are doing. Other applications are doing. I
personally don't have an issue with it not being a good crop, or like we can. So I have two options, right? So we can either crop the image or we can resize the image. So if we are
resizing, will be fine. Will be very easiest option. The resizing ourselves in the code is the easiest option, but it will distort. It will distort the image.
That is if we try to maintain. That is if we try to if we try to how about this? Let's say like if you have an aspect ratio of 16 by 9, right? And that's not 600 by 600 is aspect ratio 1:1, right? So definitely you want to be able to crop it in a way that you won't lose data. But what if you take the smallest, so it's the 16 by 9, right? You take the 9 one, or you take the 16 one, you take the larger width and make that into 600, and whatever the smaller one becomes, just surround the rest with white space. Or empty, empty.
No, we cannot do those things in the HTML. The HTML we were using, Angular is kind of HTML only, whatever it is. Angular is kind of JavaScript, whatever it is. With Angular and HTML in the front end, we cannot do it. What we can do is
because it's front end, we can have
some backend. We can have some framework which can crop the thing, which can crop the image. Not in the front end. We can do it in the back end. A front end will need an interface. As far as I know, I'm talking from what I know, but if you can able to guide me further, what I'm saying, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, you can guide me further.
I don't know about the front end. I know definitely in the back end we can do this.
Back end we can do it. Yeah.
So front end, can you decide the what do you call it? Can you decide the CSS or Metronics decides the CSS? So do you have basically
Metronics comes with a rich and very big CSS. Metronics, so Metronics gives us. Yes.
Personally, in these cases, I've just done them in the backend. Whenever I've had to do
this, backend we can do it. Yeah, backend we can do it. But as I told you, we will be working blindly. I mean, you can tell us some algorithm. We can use that. Bro, you said something look at the aspect ratio. That's what you said just now, right?
I'm just saying,
sorry.
If it's 1,000 by 12,000, so you said 600 by 600. So let's take an example. If it's 1,000 by 12,000, convert 12,000 to 600 and equally convert 1,000 to whatever the equal number is. I guess divided by half.
The exact multiple of it. The exact multiple of it, or something like that.
Take the bigger number, convert it to 600, and take the smaller number and just multiply with whatever that maintains the aspect ratio.
And try and see. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Since here the aspect ratio with the Metronics is 1:1, so you want us to maintain the same 1:1, whatever the image size, right? Just go to the nearest size so that
one will be 600 perfectly, the other one will be a bit smaller, which is fine, inshallah.
Yeah, see, basically this involves two things. Number one, we have to get that appropriate framework or the library which can let us crop. Yeah, we need to research and get that.
No, not crop anymore, bro. We're not going to crop.
Do the algorithm sorry?
Sorry, like you said, we're not going to crop anymore because we don't know which data we will lose. Because cropping, like you said, involves losing data, right? So we'll just resize, inshallah, and not crop.
Okay. Resize will distort the image. I told you.
Yeah, it'll distort. But the thing is, it'll only distort if we try to maintain 600 by 600. But what I'm trying to say is, like, if it becomes 600 by 500, that is like.
Oh, so what you're saying is actually come with this optimal numbers which will not distort.
What would work perfectly is that if we can make it okay. So let's say it becomes 600 by 500, and then we put it, and then the rest of to make it 600, we just surround it by like white space. That's a bit of an
We
issue.
cannot do that, right? We cannot do that. See, if there is an image of 1000 by 200, if you make it 600 by 500, it's going to distort the image. It's going to. So you can try it and see on a normal plain HTML, then you will see.
No, of course it'll get you're
image.
thinking distorting, right? I'm not saying distort. I'm saying maintain the ratios and surround to make it. So let's say the image became really small, like 1000 to 200 became really small.
Right.
So, but you preserve the ratio, and to make it 600 by 600, surround the smaller.
That's what I'm trying to understand from you. How to maintain the aspect ratio. That's what I'm trying to understand from you. What's in your mind? I mean, you're talking about, like, you know how the image tag is in HTML. How the image tag takes this takes a source parameter and it takes a width and height parameter. Width is equal to something, height is equal to something. So now we're talking about these basics. So width is equal to 600, width, the height is equal to 600 is what the Metron is actually preferring. I mean, the image actual physical size should be 600 to 600. Okay. If the image actual size is not 600 to 600, then the Metronics is going to resize it so that it looks better on the screen. Okay. So now what I'm trying to ask you is, you have in mind to maintain the aspect ratio, then that can be done only if we come with these numbers for the width and the height. If we can come with some magic numbers, I mean those kind of calculated numbers, some calculated.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Did you catch my last few minutes?
I caught it everything other than the end.
Oh, okay. So what I was okay. Let me repeat one more time. So basically, the image tag comes with these attributes like source, which is the image name, image source. It could be a link or physical file on the disk, and then it comes with the width and height parameters. So we are talking about the width and height parameter now. So width and height parameter. Sorry.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah. Tell me if you have any points. Tell me if you have anything.
No. I'm just saying that you're talking about resizing on the front end. I'm talking about resizing on the back end.
Oh, on the back end. Yeah, on the back end, yeah, we would know the size. On the back end, yes, we would as soon as they upload, we would know the size and we can access the file. You're right. Then what do we do next?
Okay, so what we do next is we take the larger of the two sides.
Okay,
and we divide it by 600 and we find out what the ratio is. Let's say it's 2. So we divide the larger side by 2 and become 600. We divide the smaller size by 2 and it becomes whatever number it becomes.
Okay.
So it becomes, let's say, 400 by 600. And we take that image and we surround that, the other, like the smaller ratio, we make it a bigger image by surrounding it by white space or like emptiness.
And how would you do that? How would you do that? How would you alter the image?
Using libraries, like if you know what, I can check out the code for it if you want me to.
Yeah. If you can do that, I think it will help us. If you can able to find some library for that, and it shall send it out. And for my end, I will also try to see if I can able to get rid of some.
Okay, inshallah. Hopefully, won't have to use many libraries. I think if you use maybe inshallah using buffered image or something. Inshallah, let's see. I'll try to find something for you, inshallah.
Yeah, try that and let us. Yeah, from our end, I told you like we will also try that, inshallah. We'll also try it. Inshallah. If you can get hold of something which is decent, also let us know.
Inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. So actually, let's keep that as a pending item for now. And as soon as we get some information, inshallah, we'll try to resolve this, inshallah. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one is this, which we have fixed it. Actually, here it was the phone number. The phone number was actually 10-digit, but our code was not accepting it. So saying that it was not a valid phone number. So actually we have fixed this issue.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and for the required fields, there is another screen also is talking about the required fields. So we address it there, but let me repeat it. So required field in the last meeting also I have mentioned to Tanvir, brother Tanvir. saying that please give us all the fields which are required. And we were assuming all fields are required because we have not got that requirement. So tell us which are required, which are optional. So we will apply that validation. And right now, because of the screen, what we have done, we have fixed this phone number validation
before
issue,
you continue,
and we have made the address as an optional. Sorry.
Before you continue, brother, Tanvir, are you back?
Yeah, I heard him.
Okay, sorry. Can you, like, who's someone taking action items for ourselves so we don't lose these things?
Yeah, please
someone,
go ahead.
Sorry, yes, I'm taking some notes.
Okay, all right, keep going, brother.
Okay, so it's also in the email. Actually, this comment I'm just saying is also in the email. So basically, provide us with all the required fields and optional fields on this page and also other pages, so that we will implement them accordingly.
Sounds good.
Okay, then it's done. So actually, we have implemented. Actually, we have fixed this like what the image says. We have fixed it. Means we have fixed, and now it will no longer give a complaint on the phone number when you enter a 10-digit, and the address will not be required. This two fixes we are done. Okay, I'm continuing. Unable to submit, create profile, everything. Yeah, this and previous issue is kind of related, and I just mentioned it. So please give us all the required fields and mandatory and optional fields. So we will validate accordingly. So this we are waiting on you to give us some input on this to continue. So you can keep this as a pending issue, and we are waiting on you on this.
Okay, I can just tell you if it.
Yeah,
makes
please
sense.
tell me. Yeah, I can take notes. Yeah, no
Yeah, so certificates, address,
again.
bio.
Say again.
So certificates, address, bio.
Okay, bio.
Facebook, Twitter, those are not required.
Facebook, Twitter not required, and all other fields are required, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine, very good. Okay, alhamdulillah, it's good. Yeah, we will implement it as soon as possible. One. The next one, this we have fixed it. This was like a style sheet issue. We have like a mobile CSS. If you have noticed our code, Sam, we have a CSS file only for mobile devices called mobile CSS. So we did some fix to fix this issue.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
So now we are adding some gap between these two buttons.
Yeah, I've definitely seen the gaps.
Yeah. So we have adjusted some. We put some gap. So you can verify it on your whatever iPhone, whatever device you tested it. You can verify it again, see if it is looking fine or not. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Why does it start here? Okay. This why not? Okay, this I think actually we also fix this by scrolling it to the top. Actually now we added some code to actually whatever screen you are at, it will get scrolled automatically to the top. So what it is happening is in the Angular is actually a single page application, if you know it or not. It is actually a single page application. Although we are having multiple screens, by design Angular 2, which we are using, is a single page app. So basically it tries to maintain whatever the previous screen, whatever the scrolling area you are at the next screen, it will try to maintain the same, because it is by design and single page application. So now we have fixed it by scrolling up on every page, on every navigating, every screen which is changing view. Basically we are doing we are putting a code, we have put some code so that we scroll to the top. So this issue should not come, inshallah.
So this is when a person goes to the next screen, it should start from the top, not from the...
Yeah, correct. All the screens we are doing like that. Actually, so now you will lose that if you are in the end of the page, and if you navigate to the next page, if you're expecting it to the end of the page, you lose that, because now we have put code.
Yeah.
Scroll every.
I think for us it's okay. This is.
Yeah, okay. Because by design, Angular was doing like that. So whatever scroll area you are at, you are in the middle of the screen, it will maintain that middleness in every screen. But now because of this comment, we have to put that code. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Next one, yeah, actually, if you remember, if you recall our last meeting and one of your emails, you have put comments for us to remove this 6 to 12 years from this drop down. So now we have removed it. So now this case should not happen. Like this should not happen on the parent or the student registration. This should not happen. Surely. Okay, let's move on. The screen seems to be zoomed in too much. Let me look at the comments. I don't remember, but it's in the email. I put it on the email. 311. Sorry for that. Okay, 311. We have not fixed it. 311. We have not fixed it. Probably we are actually working on it. Yeah. 311. We have not fixed it. We are working on it actually. Okay, and let's go on. This one we have fixed part of it and not part of it. Actually, if you look at the screen, has two comments, one on the top, one on the bottom. The bottom one says when you come to the single page, single schedule screen, it should not come to the first time slot if there is no time slots. If whatever weekday which has the available time slot, it should navigate to that page, which we have fixed. This part of the bug we have fixed, but the one on the top one, which says the message about the message, we are currently working on it. On the loose search, when the teacher slots are not found, we are working on it. We are going through certain discussion now, right? So we are working on it. So once we find out the correct design, how to implement the loose search on the results, inshallah, these messages will be fixed. So you want to comment on anything on this one, Tanveer or Hussam? You want to say?
No, inshallah. So this one was about basically being able to customize the different search results, messages for different search results.
Right. Yeah. Which we are currently working on it, correct? Which we are currently working on.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So once we resolve that issue, this will be fixed, inshallah. Okay. Right now, so you can mark it pending if you want to. At half of this is fixed. The second part is fixed, as I told you. Okay, let's move on. Is this? Yeah, this was a message issue. Actually, we are showing a wrong message. Although we are not doing scheduling at this point. We are only blocking the time slot at this point. Since you have left the previous screen and came to the screen, so we have to save the time slot somewhere, so that we can block it for 15 minutes. So actually, we are only blocking the time slot, and now we have fixed the error message. We fixed the message saying that the time slots are blocked for 15 minutes. So you should not see this message. You should see a different message.
Okay.
The next one, what is it? This, if I had scrolled, okay, let me look at the 314. Yeah, 314 is not fixed. The 314 is not fixed. We are working on it. Yeah, this one is fixed. This one is a same thing. This is also a message issue. Basically, since you left the previous screen with the credit card, so we are saving the credit card information. Basically, at that point, when the user leaves the previous screen and come to the screen, what we are doing is we are going to the Stripe API from the backend and validating the credit card, and we are basically saving the credit card in our database and also generating what is called as customer number. Actually, we don't save it. If it is already there, we don't save it. If it is already there, we just retrieve a customer number which Stripe gives us. So actually, we are doing a few things on the backend. So we have changed the error message now. We have changed the message now to saying that actually card number saved or something like that. Moving on to the next. If you guys have any comments anywhere, just interrupt me and speak. Okay, this is fixed. This is like basically an alignment issue. So if you look at the iPhone issue, you may see it fixed. Let us know if it's not otherwise. If it is otherwise. So we have, according to our developer, he has fixed this just now. And please verify if this is fixed. From our side, actually, we have fixed it, but you have to basically verify it. And this one, we don't know. We don't have a clue why this is coming to you. This numeric pad appearing to you, and not only in the screen, also in other screens. It's just appearing to you. So we have no clue because on the HTML side, for this checkbox, we are using that input type checkbox. So that what you're saying should appear only on input type text and for a numeric field. But we don't know, we don't have any clue why it's appearing. So actually we have to do some research on this. So we have to do some research on this to find out what is the issue. So if you have any clues, you can help us, but we don't have any clue right now. So we are doing some research on this.
So Hussam, basically what happens is when I try to go check the button, basically then the number pad pops up. So it's really strange.
But Hussam, you know that input type checkbox, which is what we are using for this. If you look at the code, you can also open the code. We can give you the module. We can give the screen. That's what we are using. So so for now it's a mystery why this is appearing, because input type checkbox, it could be a bug on the browser. I don't know, just guessing. It could be a bug on the browser, or it could be some kind of configuration we have to do for it not to appear.
Is this happening for every different user who has tried this with multiple different devices, or is just one person who keeps getting this?
I don't know. I had it a couple of times. Like this happened to me a couple of times, not just once.
Actually, it's not only happening on this. Actually, if you look at the next screen, let me go to the next screen. According to brother Tanvir's comments on this, it also happens when he clicks on the complete button. Yeah. So it's not just the checkbox. It's also the button. So it could be something on this page, probably, I don't know. It could be something on this page, the code of this page, which is prompting it to show this numeric pad. So that's what I said. Actually, we are doing some research to find out what all the instances, why this pops up, and how to prevent it. So we are doing some research on our side.
I'll also take a look, see if I can find anything.
Yeah.
You see, like so it's like loading. So next screen is loading.
Yeah.
And then you see the loading sign there.
Yeah.
So because
yes, you're right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And that still shows up.
Yeah, it should not be showing, but it's showing. So we will do some research and see if we can find something. So it's not fixed. So this is marked as pending.
And you know, the issue with iPhone is that it's like you can't really, once it's up, unless you do something about it or refresh the page, it stays up.
Oh, okay.
So, but it has a done button over there. What does the done button mean?
Like, yeah, it doesn't, like, I had difficulty getting it down. I had to like refresh it.
So this is only on iPhone? Does it have an Android too? Or just iPhone?
I don't know. I don't have an Android, but you guys can check.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, my brother has Android. I should check.
I can check, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
Yeah, go ahead, inshallah. So, Ahi, sorry for asking the question.
Yes,
you guys probably covered it. The gender problem is solved, right? The
gender problem, Hussam did not confirm it's an issue. He said something after that. Actually, on the next meeting, also I asked him why you did not send me that email stack trash, which is for the gender, and he said it was not an issue.
That was for user registration.
That was not for gender.
I don't know,
gender issue. I don't know what is the issue. I don't know what is the issue.
First time I'm hearing it.
No. Remember, like when you select, when you try to register for a child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't register for a child unless you register, unless you have input for the parents, and then on the child's registration.
Right. Yeah.
And also on the child.
Yeah, you're right.
And when we just do straight.
I know exactly what
child
sorry, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, this we have not fixed it. Yeah, actually, I forget to. Probably it's my fault. Probably I have not taken proper notes or something. And it's yes, kind of okay. Let me take a notes right now. Yeah, actually, this we did not fix it.
So that was considered a showstopper because we couldn't proceed with the child registration.
Why I did not get any email or proper communication on that?
Oh, sorry, because we discussed it at length.
If it's a showstopper, it should be shown clearly.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, let me take a notes.
So if I go to select, basically, if I go to register as a child, so there are two issues. One is I can't register as a child unless I fill up parents' information, which should not be the case.
Yeah, correct.
And second is if I just try to do straightforward child's registration,
okay,
it gives me an error, says gender not selected, and then I can go to next screen.
Okay. Child alone. Okay. Okay, fine. Inshallah. Yeah, we'll fix it as soon as possible in the morning, and we'll install it. We'll install this fix as soon as possible. This is very easy for us to fix. And it's not a complicated fix for us. This is a very easy fix for us. Yeah, since I did not take notes, so it was not fixed. So it was my fault. So let us, inshallah, this time we will fix it as soon as possible, inshallah. And I will update you on the email. So separately on the email. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is fixed. This was fixed some time back, so you should just verify this should not happen again. This should not happen. So it's a bug, and we have fixed it. Some time back we fixed it, so it should not happen again. Sure. This one is the same issue. Looks like the same issue which you reported earlier on the numeric pad. So
yeah, so this happened on a different screen as well.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's not the checkbox only. It's something else because see, this is not a checkbox issue. This is something else. This is coming to you generally on the screen. So there's something else going on. Something else maybe on the screen, which is prompting it to open this. So we have to see what is that causing this error. What is this causing this pop-up? Okay, so we are doing some research, inshallah, and if we find anything, we'll fix it, inshallah. Okay, let's move on. Again, the screen is same. This when I click this, I don't let me check the status on it. 322. 322. It's saying it's fixed. Our developer is saying it's fixed. 322. No.
Okay, inshallah, tomorrow I will go through.
It's not fixed. Yeah, yes, please. Tell me.
I'll go through some of this, inshallah, and then I'll check what's.
Yeah, yes, please. Actually, it's done in my email. You can take my email as a final. The email update status update I give you. So based on the email, you can reply back to that email and tell me what are actually fixed and verified by you, and what are not fixed and open. So we will keep it open and then work on those. Okay. So let's at least knock off half of the issues are those fixed issues, inshallah. Let's move on to the next one. Keep loading the next screen. This is also, I think, not fixed. This is not fixed from our side. We have not fixed this. You're saying keeps loading next screen at random parts of email page instead of the top. Let's see what is this comment 323. 323. I think we have not fixed this. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm thinking. But you can go and verify. You can go and verify. So let us know. See if it is done or not.
Akhi, just so you know, I just tried to register for a child on my phone.
Okay.
And I can't move from the About You section.
Okay.
Like there's like the continue button is like inactive.
Okay. Are you entering all the fields like Skype ID and everything?
Yep. And also the location is not auto selected either.
Yeah. The location we have not fixed it. Yeah, it's a location. Yes, it's my fault also. Yeah, location we have not fixed it. The location of the child, I have not fixed it. We have to fix it actually. We have to fix it. It's not yet fixed. Yeah. Actually, this is also my fault. I did not take proper notes on this. And you said that you have filled in the information of the parent. You filled in the information of the parent and you filled in the information of the child, and then it's not allowing you to continue.
The way it was working last time, only way it was also filling the information for the parent, and then I could continue. But if I was not doing that, which I shouldn't be, if I'm registering for a child, I don't need to say no and then submit all that information because there is no need for that. Like I couldn't continue to register.
Yeah, my question is my question now actually. Since you said that you tried now, right? That you tried it now, right? So my question
I just tried now. I can't. Like there's no way I can continue.
Have you filled out the parent portion?
No, I'm not filling up the primes.
No, you have not filled it. So, then as I mentioned earlier, actually it was not fixed. I mentioned it earlier. We have not fixed this because I did not took the comments properly on the meeting. So it was my mistake. So we will fix it as soon as today morning, inshallah, and we will update you separately on the email. Okay, so it was my fault. A few of the issues we have not taken notes properly, which is easy to fix for us. Very easy to fix. This one and the other one you told about this location auto populate for the child. These are easier for us to fix. Very easy for us to fix, and we have not fixed because of our lack of notes taking skills.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, let's continue with the next one. This is fixed. This is just a message issue, like multiple schedules. This is same like the single schedule. The scheduled successfully, same issue. So now we have changed the message to show that the time slots are blocked for 15 minutes. Okay, let's continue. Need to update the links. Yes, actually we have updated all the links, and we have taken 3 links from Stripe website, and actually we have actually put against those, and it should open on a new window. When you click this links, it should open on a new window, so you can verify and let us know if it is fixed. Okay, move on to the next one. Yes, we have fixed it. It was a font issue from our side, which we have fixed it. Next one. This is an Stripe page loading issue. This you should not see it often. You should see it very rarely, I guess. Right? True.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is the card number starts being, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. But you're right.
Yeah. According to our research, it should not happen to you often. It should happen very rarely. Basically, what is happening is, according to our developer, and I also looked into it. Basically, we are loading this Stripe at the beginning of the application. Actually, we are just including the Stripe JavaScript, and then we are initializing the Stripe on this page. When the user comes to this page, we are initializing the Stripe. For whatever reason, if it could not able to establish connection with the Stripe server, then you will have this problem. What we are doing is to fix it or whatever you call work around or fix. What we are doing is we are showing a message now. If this, so actually we are take this issue of unable to connect with the Stripe server, and we are showing we were showing a message actually, so that the user is known. I mean, user is intimated that the Stripe our code was not able to connect to this Stripe server.
So user has to reload the page?
Yes, correct. Yes, user has to. If this happens, if this message comes to you like it cannot able to connect to the Stripe server, yes, you have to reload.
So maybe like the message should include that please load the page again or something like that.
Okay, I will see what is exactly what's in the message. I don't know right now what's exactly on the message. See if that makes sense to you, whatever the message is. If it doesn't make sense, you can reply to us back, and I will also check from our end what is the message. If it doesn't include that text you said, I will include it. Let me take some notes on that. Just give me a minute. Let's move on. This thing is fixed. Actually, this thing is fixed. This is an alignment issue, and it's been fixed. Let's move on. This also fixed. This is a wrong message saying that the actually it was for some reason it failed and it was showing in green instead of in red. And so this is now fixed. So if there is a transaction failure, it will not show in green, it will show in red. Okay. Let's move on. This what is this issue?
So this is the child. Yeah. This is the child.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, we have not understood this issue. Actually, when I saw this issue, I could not able to recall. Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah, you're right. Actually, this we have not fixed it. Okay, so like I said earlier, so we have taken notes on this issue. Inshallah, we will fix it as soon as possible, and we'll send you a separate email on it. Inshallah. Okay, so this I will see. This is like an major, which is already I already taken notes now. So actually, this will fix it. Okay, let's move on. This one we could not able to understand the issue. So you need to explain us what is the issue here.
Okay. So basically, for drop downs on the admin panel, admin side, I basically created a style guide.
Yeah.
From the Medtronic theme. So how do the drop downs look like and things like that. So I just asked to apply that CSS.
Yeah, actually, yeah. According to our developer, we are doing it. He also showed me the style guide which you have sent. It had a link for the Medtronics with the drop downs, and we don't know which drop down you're talking about. So I said we took the first drop down on that link, and the first drop down we matched with this drop down. It looks the same to me. It looks same to me.
Let me review.
Drop down. It was just a plain top down with a rounded corners, and which is what we are doing over here. So actually, if you can able to show us what did you saw wrong, what did you saw something wrong you have seen for sure. So if you can able to tell us and send us some kind of screenshot from Medtronic's template.
Yeah, I will do that.
Then we will do it, inshallah. With the link, with the Medtronic link and the screenshot what you are seeing wrong. Yeah. We'll fix it. So basically, we need more information from you on this.
Okay.
Okay, so you can take a note and then send it to us by end of after this meeting. After the meeting, you can send it to us on email. So let's move on.
Okay, so actually, I can show you now.
Yeah, please show me. Yeah, please show me. You can go ahead and share your screen. Sorry, you can go ahead and share your screen.
So
let me stop sharing.
What's happening? There you go. Share my screen. You see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. So here is so here you'll see. So this is the one. This is the one that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then, so when it's multi-level, that's how the multi-level drop-down would look like. So this is the single one here.
Okay.
You see? So it says default.
It's also on the link. Actually, I mean, this you're taking the screenshot from the link or what? From the Medtronic's link?
Yeah, from the link.
Yeah, if you can able to show it to us. I can also tell us which page is this? Which page 5 or 7?
This is page. This is the first page.
First page?
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't mind, give me the link over here on the Hangouts.
Yeah.
Give me the link over.
Let me load it for you.
Yeah, please.
So here. So this is button. We go here. Sorry, drop downs here. Here. So here's the drop down. You see?
Oh, default. Okay.
Okay. And then if it's multi-level, right? This one is hoverable drop down, but multi-level is multi-level. Yeah, so this is the multi-level one.
Okay.
You see?
So you wanted to be like this?
Level. So if we have anywhere where we need to do multi-level, this is how we'd like the multi-level to be.
Yeah.
But if it's just single, right?
Yeah.
Then it's just like this.
Should be like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, time
sorry, the default bootstrap one. Sorry.
Yeah, if you can able to send me this link again, just in case I have the wrong link.
Yeah. So it's on the first page. Let me just
paste it here in the chat if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let me just share it in the chat.
Okay, I'm copying it. Just 1 minute for me to take a look at it. Just 1 minute. 1 minute.
Like if you go to that page of the style guide,
I'm on the page you give me. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going down now. Yeah.
It's to your right side.
Yeah, on the right side. Yeah, I have the first drop down. Tools, right?
Yeah.
Tools, right? The bottom of the tools, right? It says
Yeah,
tools.
so you'll see it says default bootstrap style. And then
default bootstrap. No, it says tools, primary success. Drop downs. It's on the drop down.
Yeah, drop down.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one down called default bootstrap style. You're right. Default, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. I understood.
So bootstrap or Medtronic, either is fine. I think bootstrap is fine.
Okay.
But the multi-level one is
yeah, the one down thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Inshallah. Okay, inshallah. We'll have it like that, inshallah. Let's continue. 1 minute. Let me share my screen, right?
That's no, yeah.
Okay, we understood now. Alhamdulillah. Going back to where I was. Okay, I was here. Okay, so we understood this issue. Inshallah, we will implement it accordingly. Inshallah. The next one. This one is you're talking about the message, right? You're talking about the save teacher schedule, right? Yeah, which we have fixed it now. This should not happen. Actually, why this was happening was the teacher was missing a calendar ID. The teacher actually, when you create the teacher, we are creating a calendar in the Google Calendar. And when you create an event, which is the schedule, when you schedule an event for the teacher, the calendar should pre-exist. Otherwise, you will get this message. So now we fixed it. By if the calendar does not exist, first create the calendar, then create the event. So actually, we have put a fix to the code.
Yeah, so we couldn't create calendars. So basically, what happened is we could create calendar and schedule for teachers, but then when I was trying it, we couldn't generate any calendar, any events whatsoever. Like we were just getting stuck.
Yeah, actually, if you have went to the teacher and saved it and then come back here, it would not have come. If you can the same teacher and save the teacher, it would have created the calendar in the Google. Then if you come to this event, this page to schedule, then you would not have got it. Okay, whatever it is, we fixed it actually. We have fixed it now. We fixed it now, so that whatever the cases, it should not give this error. Whatever the status of the data, this error should not come. So we fixed it, so you can verify it. Let's move on. This one we have not fixed it. I think. Let me just give you a minute. Just give me a minute. I think we have not fixed this. 54. 54. Yeah, we have not fixed this. We have not fixed this. If you can able to explain a little bit.
So basically, the idea is when I'm looking at the calendar, it should automatically show me this week's calendar as opposed to like the beginning of the month or some other time.
Recall it now. Yes, I recall it.
Yeah.
Yes, I recall now. Yeah, actually, we are going to fix it shortly, inshallah. We're going to fix it shortly.
And the drop-down style is the same message, right? Is the
correct. Yeah, understand. We understand that. Drop down, we understand. Okay, inshallah. Yeah, we will fix it, inshallah. Let's move on. Okay, this one is the same issue like we discussed earlier, right? Talking about the image size and right from the grid.
Yeah. So basically, you said the only way it would work, and because what happened is here, it's I created this teacher Muhammad Ahmed, but then he's not coming up to the left or the middle or somewhere. He's just showing up to the right side.
Yeah.
In terms of alignment, so it seemed a little odd.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is due to the grid size. Actually, due to the grid size. Actually, we have to see the next row. Actually, what is the next row? See, is this the last row? Is this the last row, or is it you have one more row?
I think after this one, there is one more on the left at the bottom.
Yeah, actually, if you have one more row, then Medtronic is actually deciding that when it cannot fit it on the same line because of the different sizes, it is doing this. Yeah, like we discussed already with in detail with Brother Hussam. So we will find some fix for this. We will find some kind of auto cropping or some kind of cropping we are trying to implement to make the image size same. So what I was saying in short is, if all the uploaded images are the same size, this would not happen. But now actually we are trying to do and implement a fix where the sizes can be of the images can be of different size, but we will try to handle it in the backend. Yeah. So basically we will try to fix this issue, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're this list actually. We're done with this list. So if you can able to take over and then tell us what else you want to discuss. You can take over from here.
Okay, so I guess we wanted to briefly discuss the scheduling part because that's the teacher calendar creation. That's the big item, and that's the big item that's basically needs to be kind of configured, right?
Right.
Properly, so that inshallah we are all on the same page. Because I realized that we had a lot of phone discussions when we were discussing this. Me and you were discussing a lot of things on the phone and back and forth conversations on the phone. We didn't really record everything on paper or on Jira, which I believe is partly responsible for us not being on the same page on this. So I put some notes together for this. So I wanted to go through that if you're okay, inshallah.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
So let me just share my screen. Sam, do you have any comments before I start?
No, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, Akhi, what the notes here that I have written are similar to how Google Calendar works in most cases, right? In terms of the feature and ability to do things, what we're looking for, and with some obviously custom requirements for us specifically. So let me just go here. Just to kind of explain in a nutshell, and then I'll go into. So when I go to Google Calendar, right, for example, and let's say I go to create event, okay. So there are two ways of me making an event. I can just tap anywhere on the screen, and then I say something, and then I go, let's say, I can make a quick event, right? So test event. So, you know, it's on my calendar. I can select whose calendar it is, for example, if I have other people's calendar. I think I do. But anyway, so I'll just say create. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. We
so
can hear you.
Now I can click on this event, right? I mean, you're familiar with Google Calendar. I can click on this event and I can go to edit more details of this event, right? So like, for example, here, I have a title section here, the start time to end time, including dates. I can select time zone, for example. I can indicate if it's an all-day event, if it's a repeat. If I click repeat, is it weekly, daily, every weekday, every Monday, every Tuesday and Thursday? You know what? It's and then repeat on. I can do here, and then starts when does it end, after how long, and then done, right? And then I can select where it is, and then I can add guests, for example, and what the guests can do. So this is not necessarily something we're looking for, what the guests can modify or not. I can select whose calendar is it going to show. If it's, so for example, if it's my calendar or someone else's calendar that I have access to, I can select the color, blah, blah, blah. And this is an interesting one, which is notification. So I can select how long before or how many days or weeks before the event that I want to be notified about, right? And so for that event, if I'm sharing my calendar with someone, it's going to show me as busy or available. I can select that, and then visibility, you know, I can also select if it's public or private, And so that's it, right? And then I just go back to my calendar. Now, what we were thinking in terms of our calendar is similar kind of features that we wanted, obviously, for ease of use, right? And this is something like also kind of foolproof that Google has, and it's millions, hundreds of millions of people around the world are now using something like this. And so in terms of design and concept, and usability, it's pretty standard nowadays, right? And that's it, right? So now I'll just briefly go over the requirements here. So teacher schedules are repetitive, as we discussed, right? Until a teacher leaves, or we adjust the schedule or delete it or something like that, or a teacher leaves. Secondly, calendars are course specific. So this is a conversation that Hussam and I was having. And for now, this is what we have thought, and what I have thought. Hussam has an interesting suggestion, which we can discuss, inshallah. But my idea is the calendars are specific to a specific course the teacher has. So I'll give an example. What I was envisioning for teachers' navigation, for example, on their profile, when they log in, would be something like this. So it's by course, right? So one-on-one Quran is a course. And then under that course, they have their schedule. They have the classroom where they can go to start their classes. And then they have the student data. So all students view profile, notes, attendance, assessments, progress tracker, recordings, like that. And then they also have access to student curriculum, and then different levels and all those things. And then they have access to teaching resources specifically for that course, right? And then if there's another course, it's the same thing here, for example, one-to-many course. And then messages is this unified section, an account where they can reset their password, for example, and then if they need any support, they can contact support. But essentially something as simple as that. The idea behind this is to group a course and the students and everything into one, so that when we have multiple courses, the database and all the data, everything gets organized that way, so that there is no overlap in the teacher's calendar, and then teachers doesn't get confused or something like that. However, Hussam had an interesting idea, which we didn't think about before, which is the idea that, okay, what if a teacher, when we have multiple courses, for example, we have courses that are like 1 hour, like currently what we offer. And then we have, let's say, 15-minute time slot drop-in courses, or we have 30-minute drop-in courses. And the question is, if we create, let's say, 9-to-5 schedule for this teacher, and they're available, and this teacher is also available for those 2 courses, but what he's saying is it possible for us to make the schedule open for 15 minutes, the same schedule open for 15 minutes and 30-minute sessions, so that instead of the teacher sitting around and waiting for an hour, student who wants to study for an hour, maybe another student can take advantage and would want to utilize the teacher, right? Because this teacher can teach both courses. So this is an interesting scenario that we didn't think about before, obviously, but how we used to think is each teacher would have dedicated time. So 9 to 5, they're teaching the 1 hour classes. And then if they're available afterwards to teach drop-in classes, then they teach the drop-in classes. And drop-in classes are scheduled separately and all that. So I don't know what are your thoughts on that, but this is an interesting idea. This obviously...
I actually, I don't understand very well. So what are you saying? I mean, are you saying that the same time slot which a teacher is scheduled to teach for a student, let's say Ismail, are you allowing the same time slot to be shared with another student, Ibrahim? Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is, so for example, let's say the teacher here, let's go to this teacher. Let's go to the schedule. Sorry, it's taking a bit of time to load. Okay. So let's go to this week's schedule. Okay. So let's say this teacher is available from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay. Now what would happen is the system essentially creates 1 hour slots, right? That's the rule that we're saying, right? If we select this is 1 hour, for example, then it's 1 hour slots, right? Now the question, what Hussam is saying, okay, even if we make the slots 1 hour, hypothetically, could it be that as if the students who are taking, let's say we have at the same time we're offering 2 courses. One course is 1 hour slots, another course is 15-minute slots.
Okay. You want me to just explain it from my end?
Sorry?
You want me to just explain what my thought is? You want me to So basically what I'm trying to say is that the user, I think this is what you have designed it right now anyways, we're going to enter in the teacher's availability instead of saying that this slots are of this type, this slots are of this type. Teacher is just going to enter availability like I'm available 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then we can take 10 to 12, depending on how the students come and how the students want to use this teacher's time. 10 to 11 could be like a 1 hour class, and 1 to 1:15 could be a 15-minute class, and 1:15 to 2:15 could be a 1 hour class. So instead of breaking different types of schedules for a certain teachers, let's saying that okay, 10 to 2 is 1 hour classes, 2 to 3 are going to be 15-minute classes, and 3 to 5 are again going to be 1 hour classes, and students have to fall under these boxes. What I'm trying to say is teacher enters in availability. I'm available 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Depending on how the users want to use my time, it will adjust itself.
No, yes, fine. Actually, I understood what you're saying, but actually, from the student point of view, when the student logs in, actually, how you're going to display this time blocks? How you're going to show it? I mean, how would you track a time slot being allotted to a student and it's available and it's free, it's taken, not taken? Actually, how would you manage it?
Well, if it's taken, then it's not available, right? And if it's not, so if it's available, let's say that I have a class 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And then like a student is interested in doing 1 hour classes. So we can show him that the teacher is available 10:15 onwards, and he can select 10:15 to whatever time he wants to select, like 10:15 to 11:15 or 10:30 to 11:30, 10 or 11 to 12. It's up to the student to decide which time he wants to take.
Yeah, basically I'm trying to understand from the student point of view. The student will pick 1 hour slots, or he has the option to pick whatever he wants, like 15 minutes, 45 minutes, half an hour.
That depends on the kind of class he wants. I guess some classes will be 1 hour classes, or some classes will be 1 15-minute classes. But we don't decide the schedule.
Yeah, basically when you create the schedule for the teacher, you will differentiate at that point. You will have a block of time given for 1 hour slots, a block of time given for half an hour slots, like that.
No. When you create the schedule for the teacher, no. So when you create the schedule for the teacher just puts in availability. But
yeah,
the students, the classes have business rules for them. The classes have rules like this class is only available for an hour. So if the student is trying to register for a specific class, then the schedule we show the student for that teacher is going to be depending on, like, okay, this guy is available from 10:15 to 11:15, 10:30 to 11:30, 11 to 11:12, like that. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not understanding it. Yeah, still confused. I'm still asking you the very basic question. I'm not understanding. I mean, from the teacher point of view, what are you defining? You said you're not defining the hourly slots. Fine. So it's like a block of time you're defining. That's it. Just a block of time.
Just a block
every day. I mean, every weekday, whatever is okay. 10 to 4 p.m. This teacher is available. That's it.
Yeah.
So only the block of time, and that's it, right? And that's it at the teacher level, right? And on the student level, actually, how you are going to now at the student level, what are you going to do? So you're going to give another drop down or something like checkbox or radio button to pick, like he wants an hourly slots or 30-minute slots or something. You want to have some drop down there at the Is that the student level, or what are you going to
the classes are either, so when a teacher, when a student decides he wants to take a let's say Tajweed class, and we have decided, okay, a Tajweed class will always be 1 hour. Does that make sense, Tanveer? If that doesn't, let me know.
My question: where are you having going to have this? Where are you going to have this setting? At
On
the
the
admin
rules,
level or the teacher
on
level,
the settings for the classes, the classes are either going to be like the
I'm kind of confused. So it should be a little bit made it easier and for me to understand.
Yeah. So Hussam, I think like, I mean, it's a good idea in one sense, right? But from a management perspective, I think it is going to complicate things a little bit.
Yeah.
Because our classes, the way we currently do is they're just assigned from the beginning of the hour to the end of the hour, right? And in terms of like, I understand, like, you know, what you're suggesting is an interesting concept for us to give the student those options. But currently, the way we're thinking about offering two different options is not from one. So it would be like considered a different course, for example, and then student would have to select a 15-minute slot from the entire availability, essentially, right?
And everybody gets to see my screen.
Okay.
So, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop playing the squash, bro. Let's do the scheduling.
That's true. This is scheduling, though.
I know.
So if you look at it, like I'm trying to, let's say I want to schedule, like I have different types of slots over here, a 30-minute slot, a 60-minute slot. But regardless of any of these slots I have, okay, there is a schedule for Friday. Like these are the times that are available. If I'm trying to book a 30-minute slot, I can book any of these slots, and then I'll be booked for the next 30 minutes, right? So it goes all the way till 9:30. If I change this to a 2-hour slot, then I'm going till 8 because it closes at 10. So it has automatically updated. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. But Hussam, basically, we're not giving students the options to select how long in the class they want.
That's exactly what I'm saying too. I'm saying, depending on the class they choose, the class already decides what kind of how much time the class is going to be.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's a property of the class. It's not a property of a user can edit.
I see.
Like I see the fact that I can choose the time here, but forget that. Like that's besides the point. All I'm trying to say is that depending if the, let's say I chose the Tajweed class and we have configured that the Tajweed class is going to be always 120 minutes, and that way, then I have only these times available.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, Brother Abdulahad, basically, imagine this, okay? Imagine there are two different courses available. Okay?
Bro, but you know, if you want, maybe we should probably finalize this between ourselves, like before we like go ahead and give these requirements to him. Like,
okay, so
I think that's a good idea. We should try and hash it out.
Yes, I also agree with that. If you guys can jot down some scenarios and all different complexities, then come with one solution for me, inshallah, will be good for me.
Okay, I see. Okay.
One design for me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Jazakallah khair.
Okay.
So I'll just go back to the module here. So then admin should be able to create teacher schedule, select event, for example, event type. So here are some of the event types that we're thinking that could happen within this course. So you could have a class, you could have a webinar, you could have a training session, you could have vacation, holidays, you could have a scheduling meeting, things like that, right?
Okay.
Now, if the event type is class, right? Then essentially, so this is for the future. Essentially, this is thinking about the future, so that we can create the classes accordingly. Right now, let's say the one-on-one class that we want to create is a 60-minute session, right? Okay. The idea is in the future we should be able to create courses that are also, let's say, 45 minutes or 30 minutes or 15 minutes, right? So maybe this this point here maybe needs to be configured earlier instead of here, right? Instead of creating a course. So maybe I think maybe we need to create like a course property. So decide, okay, you know, one course, and this course is all 60 minutes, for example, sessions, you know, and then when making the schedule is just all, you know, we're making schedule for that course or something like that. But anyway, so this is something that I think if you guys can suggest something, but I think this would be part of the course manager, not necessarily here, because it should be already predetermined.
Yeah, that makes sense
inside the course, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay. You know how when we have a teacher, we can select on their account, we can select what course they're available for.
Right. Yes.
So what I'm thinking is, if we do one-on-one personal intensive, for example,
okay,
in the course manager we have like a properties section, you know. How here we have teaching areas, specialty, or something like that, right? You know, how where we determine what this teacher can do. Like that, we can make like a course manager, which we'll do, and then in that course manager, for example, if it's one-on-one class, we'll select something like, is this 60-minute class or 45-minute class or 15-minute class, you know, like that, right? And then the slots then get created accordingly. So if for example, imagine this is a course manager, and then within the course manager we have one-on-one intensive, and then I can select it's a 60-minute slot, for example, here, right? And then so when I go to schedule for the teacher,
should automatically.
Yeah, so all the sessions that I create for this teacher are going to, because he's selected for that course, so that means, you know, we'll have 60-minute sessions created for him, you know.
Okay.
So, you know, brother Tanvir, let's just honestly, I think we should just hash it out between us, maybe tomorrow, inshallah, and then
right.
Let's.
Okay, sure.
The only reason I'm saying is that what if he's allowed to do 2 different sessions? Although you're saying, you know, all of them aren't, but what if someone is? And then I just have an issue with creating slots beforehand. I think teachers have availability, they're a resource, they're availability, user and courses have time slots, and users have requirements, like they have like.
Let's think this through and kind of look at it from a product offering as well, and you know, what are the different scenarios, like Abdullah had said, so that we can kind of, you know, discuss it properly in detail, instead of just squeezing it in right.
So can we meet tomorrow sometime? What time are we meeting? Because
I think between ourselves, yeah, I'm good with any time. I think Brother Abdullah doesn't need to be there, right? It's just just ourselves. Yeah, I'm
okay, fine with me.
Actually,
I'm
tomorrow,
open in any time in the evening. Just give me a call, or just let me know.
Okay, Brother Abdullah, then I think inshallah. So what we can do is we'll try to get this hashed out by tomorrow, inshallah, and then
sure. You can
hopefully maybe Sunday night or time we can do a quick conversation.
Whenever you guys decided, you can do it. But just I want to let you know, I have somewhere if there is no rain. But now the chances of me going very slim down. But I have already booked ticket to leave Indian time Saturday night and come back Sunday night, which is for you guys basically what so Saturday morning till the Sunday morning I will not be available if I am going out. But there is rains going on in Chennai. there is a possibility I may not go. I may drop my plan.
No problem.
So,
No problem. That's
I will let you know. Okay, if I'm going, I will let you know by email, inshallah.
okay. No problem. By the way, I wanted to mention, Ahi, that Medtronic also comes with a like an editor,
Okay.
like the CMS, right? I know you talked about using Angular.
Yeah, fine. Good.
Right.
Show me.
So
Yeah, there's something.
Medtronic also comes with something.
Okay,
Maybe
very
you
good.
guys can check it out.
Of course. If it is better than that, or if
I'm
it
not
is,
saying better.
yeah,
I don't
actually
know.
it is-
I don't know which one would be easier for you to integrate.
Can you
Right,
paste the
so-
link over here? Can you paste this link? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's good for us to take the link from you, so we don't spend time just trying to find that.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you paste
So
that
let me
link
just.
over here?
I put it in the document that I shared with you on the curriculum.
Yeah. Oh, okay, it's there already, right? That's there,
Yeah.
right? Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Let me.
So it's
Note
also
it down.
there as well. I found it today
Okay.
because I'm like, hold on. I thought I saw a theme at like an editor, or what is called
Okay.
WYSIWYG editor. Like, so they do have an editor here as well.
Okay, very good, fantastic, very good. Inshallah, we will see this. We will see this.
Okay. All right.
For sure. And
Okay.
then, Brother Hussam,
Yes.
yeah, last time you mentioned that you're going to schedule a meeting with the technical team for
yeah.
certain issues. So
So
we are
yeah,
still
we'll do
ready
that
for that.
sometime.
So whenever you want that, whenever your time allows you for doing that, so just send us an email.
Can we
About a
just
half a day or one day before the
schedule, like, as in not right now, but like, can we schedule for Sunday, inshallah, right before we have this meeting with Brother Tanveer? Can
Sunday
we?
night or for you? Sunday night for you?
For
or
me, Sunday night. For you, Monday morning. Yes. Inshallah.
For me, Monday morning, right? For me, Monday morning. Yeah, it should be fine.
Yes.
For me, Monday morning is fine for me.
And for your developer.
Yeah, fine. So okay, let me schedule it with the developer Monday morning. Monday morning, what time approximately? What time
1 hour, like, so 1 hour before we have the meeting with,
Or
okay.
do half an hour before. Do half an hour before.
or half an hour before then, inshallah.
Half an hour before. Okay, fine with me, inshallah. Fine, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Anything else?
No. So
What is
Akhi,
meeting?
if you can do the scheduling, inshallah, the child scheduling.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
All that what I
would be
taken notes. Whatever I have taken notes, I understand now how important they are. Inshallah, we have missed it out, so it's my fault. So let me do it as soon as possible, and then send you an email separately on that. Inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah
So it will be done today, inshallah. Yani our timing today it will be done, inshallah.
Okay.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah
If
khair.
I'm alive and if you're all alive and everything is, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay, and Jazakallah khair for the time and meeting, inshallah. We'll again.
You too.
Assalamu
Assalamu alaikum.